And this next fight, this is going to be a quick one for me as well because it's kind of a pass for me. I think the line's a little wide. Themba Gorimbo, he has kind of came into the UFC and taken it by storm with all the outside antics where it seems like this guy is a problem every fight camp. But man, he's been putting in the performances, been getting the wins in the octagon. He lost to AJ Fletcher in his debut, but since then he's won 3 fights in a row. He's looked pretty dominant in all three. And Niko Price, he got off the snide in his last fight, got the win after a 3-fight losing skid. And obviously, hardcore UFC fans know about Niko. He's been in the UFC for almost 10 years at this point and had some really nasty knockouts back in the day. But recently, he's had a lot of injuries, layoffs, hasn't been getting a lot of wins. And his last win over Alex Morono, it wasn't an awe-inspiring W. It was kind of just a battle of the worst, and Niko Price went out there and was a little bit less bad than Alex Morono that night. But with this one, Themba Gorimbo is going to be way faster on the feet. I mean, Niko Price looks like he's fighting like he's stuck in mud these days, man. His legs just have abandoned him. He has no explosiveness anymore, and I feel like it takes away a major part of his striking arsenal in his game because his striking was already not that good or technical. It was just he could explode, and he was dynamic with long arms. He'd close that distance and land a bomb, or he'd catch you as you're coming in and make you pay for being wild in an exchange and knock you out. But now he doesn't have that speed or explosiveness to do that, so he more has to just rely on toughness, pressure, and occasionally timing a big punch. But it's a lot harder for him to land. And he does have solid grappling. Like, his top control is good. If he can get on top, he could stuff submissions and keep the position. We saw in his last fight with Alex Morono, he defended some really fast, slick setups from Morono off of his back. And his wrestling is all right, but I feel like Themba is going to be able to defend the takedowns or take him down himself more than likely. Themba has shown he has really solid wrestling, and Niko isn't good off his back. That's one thing where Themba could definitely exploit him. I think Themba could finish him on the ground potentially, but Niko obviously hard guy to finish historically, and he has those weird knockouts from bottom where he was able to get the upkick KO, the finish over Randy Brown, but he's also been ground and pounded and stopped via strikes in the past multiple times. So kind of hit or miss off of his back, like I was saying. But I feel like Themba is in his prime and he's better on the feet in terms of speed. He's going to potentially be able to hit takedowns, probably control the fight by being the superior wrestler. His cardio is on point training out there in Miami, and he has a lot of motivation. It seems like he's working really hard to change his life. So Gorimbo has to be the prediction for me, but I think that the line is wide because if Gorimbo struggles to get the takedowns or maybe he gets stuffed in reverse and Price gets on top, Price has that veteran savvy to maybe steal another decision win here. But I think that if Price wins, it's going to be more because Themba Gorimbo dropped the ball, didn't look that good, more than Niko Price won the fight. So having said that, I think Themba Gorimbo is going to go out there and get this win. I just think that the line is a little off.